you even listening to what I'm saying? Of course I am, Opal. You were saying something about how worried I am for what? For the future, I guess. Of all the years I've been your friend, I've always thought you worry too much. And I've always thought you worry too little. Lindsay, we both have to pick up our grades before school ends. Our junior year is critical on getting into college. It's a tell for them on how great you actually are. Lindsay, come on, this is important. I'm sorry, Miss Opal. I promise to pay better attention next time. This stuff matters. That's what everyone keeps trying to tell me, but all that matters to me right now is that I can drive. Plus, I don't really believe it. What do you mean you don't believe it? I don't believe that bankrupting myself, killing myself for straight A's, and wasting my life away at some career matters as much as everyone says it does. Just give me the open road and a car, and I'm set. So, securing a good future for yourself is less important than going on a whimsical drive? I'm only 18, is it supposed to be? So it doesn't bother you not knowing what's gonna happen in the future? Not particularly. Life will take me where it takes me and I'll forge my way from there. Lindsay, when you talk like this, it reminds me of my sister, and that worries me.
It shouldn't worry you. Your sister's pretty smart for her age.
She may be smart, but she's also naive, or maybe just overly cynical. Either way, someone of 15 shouldn't be that flippant about things. It'll get her into trouble one day, I'll bet you that.
You don't give her enough credit. And what's so bad about being a little cynical? I like to think it keeps you grounded.
For someone as optimistic as you, maybe, but Emily isn't like that at all. She takes everything so seriously, so personally. I just don't see anything good coming out of that mix.
She's still coming into herself. Give her some time and she'll be fine. All good things do take time.
Yes, Miss Lindsay. I just worry about the two of you is all.
Then you don't give us enough credit. We may be a bit more free-spirited than you, but that doesn't mean we're doomed to failure for it.
Oh yeah? And what if that spirit leads you to a dead end?
Then I would take that spirit and fly.
Why not just follow a path leads somewhere good?
Does it though? I don't know about you, but the only path I need my spirit to take me on is happiness. I watch all these people walk their well-traveled roads, bumping into the people around them, blindly searching for what they've been force-fed to believe their life should mean. What's the point of life if you're not going to enjoy it?
That's a lot of opinions for someone who's only 18.
You can sass me all you want, but you know what I say is true.
Yet I still walk the beaten path.
Oh, well, for some it's the right one to take.
How do you know which one is right, though?
Probably just stop at the information kiosks along the way and ask the people there. Honestly, I don't know. I just walk where I walk and I hope for the best.
Well, that sounds like a very solid plan on your part.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, as long as your walk keeps you in my life, I don't care which path you take.
As long as that path has my mother not killing me for missing curfew again, I always will be.
Exactly. Nobody would want that, especially me. Then I'd have nobody to talk about my life or my sister with, and then where would I be? Probably left talking to yourself? Exactly. And that would just be sad. Sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past. Something about failing to seek things sought, and then I can drown. And I'm used to flow for previous friends hid in. Death's day this night.
Excuse me, Opal? Is your name Opal?
Yes, my name is Opal.
My name is Jeffrey, and I happen to be one.
You must be the nurse then. How's my Emily doing?
I'm afraid your sister's not doing too well. She's unresponsive, but we have her on life support while we're trying to figure out the full extent of her injuries. We currently have her in the ICU while we're figuring out the next best course of action from this point.
Well, surely you have to operate on her, right?
Surgery at this point might not be the best option.
How could it not be the best option?
She sustained serious trauma in the crash, and at this point we don't know how severe the damage is. In addition to that, she has a lot of internal bleeding. Cutting into her, not knowing where or how much damage was done, could do more harm than good. Quite frankly, your sister was lucky to make it out of that car alive.
What are her odds looking like then?
Really low. But I have seen worse pull through. If you don't mind, there are some questions that I need to ask you.
What kind of questions?
Just general questions about medical history and the like. Would you like to take a seat? Does your sister have any allergies to any iodine, tape, medications, or anesthesia?
No.
Does she currently take any prescribed medication?
Last I knew she was taking Prozac.
And how long ago was that?
About 3 months ago.
So you don't know if she was taking her medication in the weeks leading up to her accident?
I doubt it. She has a habit of using too much too quickly.
Does your sister smoke or drink? If so, how much or how often?
Yes, too much and too often.
Can you give me any kind of estimate? How many times a day or week, perhaps?
Last time she talked to me about it, she was drinking on almost a daily basis. Same with her smoking.
Has she ever had any major surgeries?
No.
Ever seen a psychologist or been placed in a medical facility for an extended period of time?
About a year ago, she started seeing a counselor. That's when she got that Prozac prescription. Other than that, she hasn't worked with any other medical professionals.
Lastly, are there any other family members that should be notified?
None that she would care to be here.
Not even your parents? Surely they'd want to come in.
She's 18 and she made the choice to forge her own path a long time ago, for better or for worse. Besides, my parents have tried everything they can for her. If she wanted anyone else to be here, she would have put them as her emergency contact.
All right, I'm sorry. I believe that was my last question. Do you have any questions for me? Well, I better be
Do you
getting...
think we have any control over what happens to us?
What?
Do you think we have any choice in the path that we walk? Do you think we have any say over what we choose to do or how it all ends? Or are we all just doomed to walk some trail laid down for us, blindly walking to our end, ignorant of the reality of it all?
So, you're asking if we have free will or not?
In short, yes.
I don't really know.
How can you not know?
I guess the thought never bothered me enough to think about it.
What I'm talking about is trying to find a way to live a meaningful life. You mean to say you've never thought about living an impactful life?
I have, just not in that sense. I guess the present has always outweighed the worries of the future.
So it doesn't bother you that we're told this story about what it means to be successful, and if that story isn't our lives and we've somehow failed?
I'm only a nurse.
I'm asking if that's true.
I guess it depends on where you want to go.
Doesn't matter where we want to go, really? Does that choice in where we want to go in our lives ultimately matter?
Of course it matters where you want to go. That choice is what defines who you are. You can argue that we all end up at the same destination, but we certainly don't arrive in the same manner.
Life is some journey is the destination, mumbo jumbo. I mean, all the world cares about is where we arrive at, and we all arrive at the same spot, death.
And who told you that?
Life, society, religion. Life assigns that truth for us all.
Only if you let it.
Do people who die get that choice? Do people who want to die really get that choice? How do all the miles matter when you're faced with the end?
Opal, in the end, those are the only things that do matter. There is one last thing I forgot to mention. When we found your sister, she had an advance directive form with her that stated should she not be able to make any choices, you would have to in her stead. And while seeing as she's unconscious, you may be put in a situation where you have to make the call on whether we put her through surgery or take her off life support. I don't need an answer now, just think about it. I understand how difficult this is for you. I've been here before too. Just know that we have our best working to get her back to you, and you don't have to be alone right now.
Then I can grieve at grievances. Grievances forgone, and repeat my woes. Afore bemoan moan, on which account of I you pay, as if before paid not. But if I think on you, dear friend, it's something about ending sorrow. Lindsay? Lindsay? Lindsay, are you there? Something awful has happened and I need you to come over as soon as you can, please. Lindsay?
Got here as quick as I could. What happened?
Thank God you're here.
Of course I'm here. You know I'm always here for you. Plus, you sounded really serious on the phone, so I ate as quickly as I could and I rushed over.
You didn't have to do that.
You sounded pretty urgent. What's the matter anyways?
It's nothing. I mostly missed having you here.
We only saw each other a few hours ago. I know you didn't call me like that all upset over nothing. Come on, talk to me.
It's about my sister.
Oh, is she having boy trouble again?
No, that's not it.
Well, then what?
I caught her doing drugs.
What? Like weed or something?
No, like I don't know, but it definitely seemed like something worse than weed.
How could you not know what kind of drug it was if you caught her doing it?
Well, I didn't really catch her doing the drug or walked in on her being high.
Oh, well, how do you know she wasn't just sleep deprived or feeling great about life?
This is different.
Different how?
Worse?
Opal, you're not making any sense.
That's because it isn't that big of a deal and I just freaked out and called you and I shouldn't have.
You're acting really weird about this, Opal. What is it that you're not telling me?
I said it's nothing.
It's not nothing. What's going on?
Please just drop it.
I won't. What's happening?
Nothing.
Opal, just tell me.
Tell you what? Tell you what? Tell you that I walked into my sister high out of her mind with a razor in her hand and blood on her legs?
She's cutting?
Yes, she's cutting. Mom was calling us down for dinner and she told me to get Emily from her room, and we normally just walk into each other's rooms when we need something without knocking, so I went in and there she was with a razor in her hand and cuts on her upper legs.
What did you do?
I took her to take a shower, then told Mom she'd take a shower, then be down for dinner.
Wait, so you didn't tell your mom anything?
Are you kidding me? Of course I didn't. She would have freaked out, and more stress isn't what Emily needs right now.
No, what Emily needs is help.
She doesn't need any help. Don't be so melodramatic.
Well, this is serious, and you have to tell your parents about it. I mean, being high, that's one thing, but self-harming? That's a whole nother beast that none of you, least of all Emily, want to mess with.
She's not trying to sever an artery or something. She's just trying to, I don't know, deal with things. I know plenty of people who do it, and they've all been just fine.
Well, this isn't something that you brush off or joke about. This is serious, and you have to tell your parents about it.
And what, betray your trust? They would treat her like some sort of specimen, send her off to a shrink, and send her even further into the hole.
You act like seeing a professional to help her with her problems is such a bad thing.
She doesn't have any problems that need a shrink. Besides, she has me to trust and confide in.
What trust? She didn't trust or confide in you. You found her like that after barging into her room without knocking.
But we talked about it afterward, and she said she'd seen some friends doing it and thought it might be fun to try.
That's not trust. That was a bold-faced lie.
Why do you care so much, Miss Go with the flow, let life take the wheel?
The way I choose to live my life has nothing to do with this. You called me over here to help you, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Oh, so now you're the hero, are you?
I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just trying to stop someone that I love from hurting themselves or going down a path that could lead to much worse things.
What kind of worse things?
Like trying to kill herself by driving off a cliff or something. I don't know. All I know is that self-harming and the state of mind associated with that, that's a serious problem.
Look, she's not trying to drive cars off cliffs or something now, is she? She's just a teenager trying to deal with her angst.
Trying to deal? She's just a teenager? Opal, are you kidding me?
If you're such an expert on all this, why don't you take her on one of your liberating drives and counsel her there?
I can't believe you right now. Your own sister has gotten so low that she's cutting herself, and you won't admit that she is messed up and suffering, or that it's not as bad as trying to kill herself? She's killing herself.
Those cuts won't kill her.
No, but her depression will.
Look, it's not that big of a deal, and I'm sorry I called you. I shouldn't have. Now, if all you're gonna do is make a huge fuss out of a few small cuts, then please just leave me be.
Opal, if you're not going to tell anybody, then I will.
You have no right to.
I love Emily just as much as you do.
How dare you suggest
You're
that?
both like sisters to me.
Sisters wouldn't sell each other out.
Really, what if they actually cared about one another?
Neither Emily nor I are your sisters, so stop pretending like we are and get out of my house!
I'm sorry, you
Get out! Please just leave me be.
Last summer party's tonight. Let me know if you need a ride. If not, I guess I'll see you at school.
sorry, Lindsay.
Opal?
Is everything alright?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. Do you need anything?
No, I'm fine. Tell me how my sister's doing.
Are you sure you're fine? This whole scenario is hard.
I said I'm fine. Please tell me how my sister's doing.
Well, her condition isn't deteriorating, but we are finding there to be more damage sustained from the crash than we'd originally anticipated.
What does that mean?
All it means is that surgery is going to be an even riskier option. Even if we did choose surgery, it might not improve anything at all.
You said she had the best though, right?
Yes, she does.
Earlier you said you'd been here before. What did you mean by that?
I just meant that I've lost people before, and I understand was all.
Oh, well, I appreciated it. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all right. You learn to manage your grief and keep trudging along.
Have you ever lost anybody you were very close with?
My mother passed away 5 years ago. She killed herself one night. I know what you'll say. You're sorry, and that's all well and good, but I don't tell you for pity. Sorries won't bring her back, and they've never made it any easier for me.
Why tell people then?
Because it happened, and I can't just ignore the fact that it did. I've been thinking more about that question you asked me earlier. I think I have a better answer for you now. You always have a choice of how you want your life to pan out. And not everyone...
That's easier said than done.
Yes, but it's important to be reminded of that. Nobody wants to be a lifeless stooge just existing until they don't.
No, I guess they don't. It can just be so hard.
The other thing I wanted to say is that, ultimately, I think you have no control over the choices or outcomes of other people's lives. Influence maybe, but not control.
Of course we have control over other people's lives. We don't take advantage of that influence enough.
But isn't that a bit opposed to your strong feelings about not being able to determine your own path?
Well, I mean, yes, but what I mean to say is that you either take control of your life and others, helping them be the best they can be, or you just lay down and die. It all just seems so unfair.
Unfair for who?
Everyone. One day you walk along going about your daily business and you see the end coming right at you. And you can't always jump out of the way. What about your mother? Don't you wish you could have done something for her?
Every day. But she didn't want to be saved. She made her choice.
That just doesn't seem good enough.
It will never be good enough. Nothing in life will ever be good enough, but I can't just stop living my own life because someone didn't think theirs was good enough.
That's easy for you to say. Your mom is dead. My Emily is still here. I'm sorry, that was rude of me.
It's all right. Grief makes fools of us all.
You could say that again.
Well, I better be getting back to the ICU. I just thought I'd keep you in the loop.
Wait, why are you spending so much time here when you're my sister's nurse?
I'm a new nurse here, so there's not much I can do for her back there. You're who I can help today.
But why come here?
No one deserves to be alone during this time.
I'm not alone. I have...
You have me. But I really should be getting back now, so I'll keep you updated on her state as it changes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, really. Thank you. Your company has been really nice.
It was no problem at all.
Hey, Lindsay. You've been gone for some time now, but it seems like only yesterday since we're sitting in my room arguing about our futures in school. It's been pretty lonely these past couple of years waiting for you to come back, and I'm starting to realize now that might never happen. I've been attending Western Washington University and I love it there. I'm pretty sure you'd love it there too. The people are wonderful and the community is so open-minded. I've been volunteering a lot recently, trying to help improve the condition of others. It's funny because I think they're improving my condition more than I am theirs. I remember you telling me once that the grades and bankruptcy and college in general wouldn't matter, but while the work is stressful, it's all so worth it. I hope that while you're away, you found the path you were always looking for. Mom and Dad weren't too thrilled to find out that I wanted to do philosophy, but I'm sure you would have been proud. I keep myself busy enough as is that they don't worry about it as much as they used to. I mostly want to apologize about that fight we had the night before you left. You were just trying to help,
and I was just unwilling to see what was really going on. You have always been like a sister to me, and I hope you knew that despite what I said. More than anything, I'm sorry I told you to go away. I didn't think you actually would. I just wish I had one last chance to say goodbye. I read a sonnet at your farewell ceremony. The entire time I just expected you to come waltzing in and for everything to be all right again. The sonnet's been pretty relevant to me lately. And I keep trying to remember it all, but it's like bits and pieces of my reality are disappearing into some void, and I can't seem to get them back. I wish I had listened to you about my sister. Maybe then everything would be okay. Now I might lose her, and then I'd really be alone. I know it sounds bad, but part of me wouldn't mind that. There's a certain peace in being alone that I've grown rather fond of, though. Every now and then, I guess I miss the constant presence of a friend. I should have been in that car with you. You and your stupid drives. I should have been there, and then you would still be here. I should have never yelled at you to leave, and then you never would have. Just, why did you get in that car? Why didn't you just stay at home and sulk like any other normal person would? Why didn't you think about what life might do to you for 1 second? Don't you know it doesn't care about your optimism and hope? Why didn't you listen to me, Lindsay? Why did you let me send you away? I never wanted it. If you listened to me then, you'll listen to me now. Come back, Lindsay. I won't be mad at you anymore, I promise. Come back and we can go on a drive somewhere together. Move somewhere and grow old together. Dream, love, cry, live. I won't yell at you anymore, I promise. Just please come back. Please.
Opal, what's wrong?
Lindsay?
What's the matter?
Lindsay, is that you?
No,
I'm so happy
it's
to
not.
see you.
Opal, I need you to... Opal.
Lindsay, it's you.
No, Opal, there is no Lindsay here.
What? Of course there is. You're Lindsay.
No, Opal, my name is Jeffrey. I'm one of the nurses for your sister.
My sister? But what about Lindsay?
I don't know who Lindsay is, but yes, your sister. The one who is in the ICU currently. The one who is in a rapidly deteriorating condition.
But you said she had the best.
And she does. And it's not over yet. Sometimes the best aren't good enough.
No, you can't tell me the best aren't good enough when they haven't even tried.
It's the truth, and we can't wait. We need a decision.
No,
No what?
I'm not going.
What do you mean you're not going?
I can't go in there. It's too much.
Of course it's too much. It wouldn't be difficult if it wasn't too much. But Emily can't make the decision, so you're going to have to.
So what? I just walk in there and make some decision as to how it's all going to end? Do I say my goodbyes now, or do I hope she makes it out of the surgery okay? Or do I just say, fuck it, you made your choice and that's all I can do for you, just like you did with your mother? How do I say goodbye for a lifetime in seconds?
I don't know.
Come on, tell me. You expect me to walk in there and see her with tubes connected to every inch of her and make some decision as to how it's all going to end? It's been 3.5 years, and I can hardly say goodbye to my best friend. People aren't built for these kinds of things.
Opal. She needs you.
She needs me. She needs me. She has always needed me. Always. But what about me and my needs? Where was she when I was lost and alone? If she gave one shit about me and my needs, she wouldn't be here in the first place.
Listen, I know you're upset, but going down this path doesn't do anyone any good. Not Emily, and especially not yourself.
Do you know what would do me some good? Having a best friend who wasn't stolen away from me, and a sister who took the time to consider just one other person before she tries to kill herself. Just why didn't she think about me? Why did she get in that car and not think about me?
It's not easy saying goodbye to someone who you love but didn't seem to care about you. It's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. I actually didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my mother. By the time she got to the hospital, it was already too late. There was nothing worse than knowing you had no chance or choice in the manner in which you said goodbye to the ones you love. And you replay those last moments you spent with them and pray that no matter what you did, they understood how much you cared about them and how much they meant to you. But you have that choice, Opal, and more. You have a chance to say goodbye. More than that, you have a chance to help Emily on that journey into the next part of her path, whatever that might be. What I was saying earlier is, yes, you have influence, but at some point you just have to trust in the chance. You should take advantage of that influence. I wish that I had myself. But life doesn't always bend to your whims and wishes. If it doesn't now for you, you have a chance to make your goodbye be something more than a random phone conversation. And that is a rare gift, whether you realize it or not. Ultimately, we don't get to choose the path that we walk, but we can choose how we walk it.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
It's all right. I understand. Now, if you're ready.
Goodbye, Lindsay. Thank you for everything.